Hey friends, I'm Grace Ann.
And I'm Andrea.
And we are G&A for today.
And we are two best friends living a faith-based lifestyle and
documenting it.
If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media. We have an Instagram and a Twitter at G&A for today.
Yes.
I got it.
And we both have personal social media. Mine will be here on the screen, and then Andrea's will be there on the screen. They will both be in the link below. Last week, I forgot that was my cue. Last week we talked all about my chronic illness and what it is like living with it and how you can be a good friend to someone with a chronic illness. So if you haven't seen that video, click on the information tab or in the link below and go watch that.
So today we're going to be talking about a year of me eating healthy, and so we're going to just outline exactly kind of like what I eat and why, and high points, low points, because I've been eating healthy for a whole year. That's kind of hard. So we're just gonna very hard. Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about that a little bit, so stay tuned. We wanted to start this video off by telling you that this is not a promo video. This is not us saying, you should eat healthy and you should eat these things, you should follow this diet, you should buy things from this program. No. This is basically just me telling you a little bit of my testimony about my journey through eating healthy and stuff like that. So don't be like,
it's not a promotion. We're not sponsored.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. So, yes, I've been eating healthy for a year now, and I wanted to say that I don't really have a title. I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm not paleo. I'm not keto. I'm close to paleo, but I'm not paleo. I just want to tell you that because sometimes it's frustrating for me when people are like, well, what do you eat? What do you not eat? Are you gluten-free? Are you this? I just don't want to put myself in a box. Like, and it's fine if you do put yourself in a box. Some people need those parameters, but I don't put myself in a box saying, I am gluten-free. I am vegan. Sometimes I tell people that I am just so I don't have to go into it all because it's a lot. But you don't have to be in a certain box. You can eat what you feel like is best for your body. So just letting you know, you don't have to be in a box. But I do follow this program that's called The Next 56 Days, and my mom teaches classes on it. It's like how to live a healthy lifestyle and things that are better for your body. And so it's not super popular. It's kind of popular in our area right now. But yeah, that's technically the program that I follow. I've taken classes about nutrition and stuff through that, so that's how I am knowledgeable about what I should eat and what I should not eat. But again, this is not a promo, and I'm not saying you should do this program. I'm just saying that that's what has worked for me, and I've absolutely loved it. But basically, some of the things that this includes is I don't eat sugar, I don't eat pork, I don't eat certain cheeses, and yeah, I don't eat a lot of grains. I eat quinoa like nobody's business. I eat quinoa every day. Love me some quinoa. I want to get a shirt that says quinoa. I don't know. I just love quinoa. And yeah, I eat a lot of vegetables. Love vegetables, and yeah, it's kind of strict. Some people would say with the whole I don't eat potatoes. Whole no potatoes, no carbs, no not vegetables, what am I saying? No sugars, stuff like this. It's kind of strict, but it doesn't feel strict to me. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you kind of what I do and what I don't eat and what I do eat. And I drink a protein shake. I drink a protein shake every day and eat little snacks along the way. But yeah, that's basically what I eat. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's also really complicated because there's so many random things, sometimes I forget. People are like, what do you eat? And then I just don't tell them the whole story until a year later. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't eat that. So I wanted to share with you kind of why I decided to start eating healthy and why I wanted to make this my lifestyle. Not just a diet. Everyone says it's a diet, and I used to make fun of people that would say, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. But now I say that because it's not just eat this, don't eat this. It's literally, it changes your life. So I wanted to do this just because I knew that I liked eating healthy. It's just something that I enjoy. So I was like, if I like eating healthy, then why would I not do it? You know what I mean? I was just to the point where I was like, I'm harming my body and I don't enjoy it, so why am I doing this? it was just a click in me, and I was just like, why are you harming your body when you enjoy treating your body well? And there was just no other explanation. I was just like, all right, I'm going to treat my body well from now on, and I'm going to make this my life and make this real. I just love how it makes me feel when I eat healthy. Whenever I eat vegetables, I just feel so much better about myself. I didn't even start eating healthy because I wanted to lose weight. I mean, it was like, yeah, that'd be cool, but it was mainly so I could have good inner health, if that makes sense. Because when you eat healthy, it also helps your mental state and your emotional state, and I found that to be very true. So I wanted to touch on the hardships that I personally have come through while going on this journey, which it might be different for other people, but this is just what I've encountered. Some of the hardships are, a lot of times I'll put myself down. I'll be like, I'm not really seeing any results with on my scale or anything like this, so I'm like, why am I even doing this? But honestly, those are very brief moments, and then right after that, I'm like, Andrea, you enjoy this. And another thing is that I feel like I receive a lot of judgment from other people, which I'm going to talk about later in this video, but that has been probably the main hardship throughout all of this, which I hate that because I love doing this, so why would I let other people control how I feel about it? It bothers me so much. But a little bit of a hardship for me has been the foods that I don't have. Sometimes I'm like, in the beginning I missed them, and honestly when I do it I like smell it and I'm fine. Like so if I ever ask you to smell your food, it's just because like I want some mac and cheese and I'm not gonna eat it, but if I smell it, I'm okay. Some people, if they smell it, they're like, if they smell it, they're gonna eat it. But for me, if I smell it, then I'm fine. But honestly, like, just the first few weeks, that was really hard for me, being around other people who would like my roommates at school bake cookies and cakes all the time, and I would just smell it, and then I would be okay. Some people, that's not the case, but for me, I would just smell it and I'd be okay, and then after a few weeks of just getting used to just smelling it and then being fine, then I stopped missing it. Honestly, I have had a lot of dreams, y'all probably think I'm crazy, had a lot of dreams where I'm like drinking a cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A, and like specifically that, and I wake up and I feel like I actually ate it, and I feel so guilty, which is crazy. I feel like I feel more guilty than people that actually drink it are, but like, yeah. I wake up and I'm like, how dare I eat unhealthy? But I kind of love that I have that much, that I have that much discipline on myself, and I have that just as a rule to myself, like, I am going to eat healthy. This is going to be the way I'm going to live. And I love the fact that even whenever I dream about eating unhealthy, that I feel guilty about it. I just love that. Some people would be thinking I'm crazy, but I just love that I've really grown through this process, and I have gotten a lot more self-control through this. Like I said earlier, it's really easy to put yourself down when you're going through these lifestyle changes, but it's very important to keep in mind the little victories that you have every day. And some of the victories that I've had going through this journey is when people started noticing that I was looking slimmer, noticing I was losing weight. People just will come up. Some people are very like scared to ask me, but some people are upfront and they're like, are you working out? Like, what's going on? Are you losing weight? And whenever other people notice, I'm like, am I? Like, it makes it feel real because other people are noticing and not just me.
Yeah, I think it was like a big deal when we started noticing,
yeah.
Because like I've known Andrew, like I said, for a long time. We've been friends for years, and like the first time you came home from school and I like saw you in person since you had been doing all this, I was like, Andrea, you are skinny.
They would like touch my belly.
It's like, you're pregnant.
Yeah, I'm like, you're so tiny.
But it was so weird because like you had always been like heavier set than me when we were growing up, and so like when you started losing all that weight, and like you could tell like in your face and in your arms, and like it just like, it was weird because I would go to hug her and I would like feel like I was
supposed to already be hugging you, but you were like so little.
Like, and that's a good thing, but I was just like, Andrea, you're so skinny, and she would always be like, stop, no. I'm like, yes, you are. Like, you're doing good.
Weird.
You're losing weight. Like, it's so cool.
But it's kind of weird. I never know how to react to those situations.
Yeah.
But another little victory is whenever you put on clothes that used to be tight and they like fit you perfectly. That is like the best feeling ever. And whenever you wear clothes, this is the sad feeling, is whenever you put on your favorite pair of jeans and they don't wear, like they don't fit anymore and you have to give them away. Even though they're your favorite pair of jeans and they're so comfy and you've been wearing them for years. That is the worst. I mean, it's great losing weight. I'm sorry, I probably sound so like, oh, I have to throw away my clothes because I'm losing weight, but I mean, it is a lifestyle change. You have to get new clothes. It's real. So you have to do away with those clothes that you do love. So that is kind of sad for me because I'm very attached to my clothes. But
Marie Kondo.
I can't. Also, some little victories are, I would always weigh myself once a week on every Monday, and so sometimes I wouldn't lose any weight in a week, but sometimes I would lose like 7 pounds in a week, and so it's just kind of cool to see how, even if I'm not losing a big sum of weight in 1 week, I'm not gaining weight, which is like I'm trying to at least stay where I am, if not get smaller, but yeah, so my first semester of my junior year of college, this was whenever I started it. My first semester, I lost 40 pounds, and I was like, wow, this is awesome, 40 pounds, like, it's great. And then my second semester, I only lost 10 pounds, and I was kind of like annoyed with my body, really. I was like, what in the world? Like, last semester I lost 40 pounds, and this semester I've only lost 10 pounds, but my body was just getting so used to the way I was living, which was frustrating because I was like, I should be doing better, but at the same time I'm like, you're doing great. Like, I haven't cheated at all. Like, I'm not trying to say that like, woe is me. I'm just trying to say like, it is good to keep in mind that if you're doing everything right, even if the scale's not telling you that you're losing weight, you're still making your body healthy.
Yeah.
So all in all, I've lost 50 pounds, and hopefully I'll lose a little bit more, but that's not really my goal. It's not to lose more weight. It's just to feel better about myself and to just have the innards of my body be healthy, because they didn't really used to be. I wanted to share a little bit about the realness of eating healthy and how it affects you and others around you. So I'm not really super close with anyone that eats the way I do, except for my family. But my friends, everyone I hang out with, basically eat normal, and that's kind of hard sometimes because like living with people who eat ice cream every night, like I love hanging out with them and I love watching movies with them and watching them eat ice cream, but sometimes I feel left out, and it's not their fault at all because I don't want them to have to change how they live, but it's just something in my mind. I'm like, it's kind of sad, and like just when you go out to eat, you're limited to what you can eat, what your friends will get, like the ACP. I used to love getting ACP.
Mm-hmm.
My friends will get ACP, and I'm like, have a little second of sadness, but it's just like a second, and it's not worth getting that ACP and then feeling bad about eating it. And again, this is just me and how my mind works, but I feel like, and a lot of you might be like, why don't you just have one cheat meal? Like, it's not a big deal. Drink a milkshake if you want a milkshake. Eat some ACP if you want ACP. Honestly, I don't trust myself to have a cheat meal, because if I have one cheat meal, I'm going to want another and another and another. And then I'm just going to erase all the goodness I've done in my body. And I'm not for that. Like, I don't want to do that. So I appreciate you telling me to cheat or whatever, but I don't want to, and I would like people to respect that. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but yes, I got off topic. But yeah, sometimes it is hard to be the only one in your friend group that eats healthy, but it's important for your friend group to understand and not force it upon you, and not being like, oh, just eat this, eat that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
But I wanted to say that it's important for me, for my close friends. I really appreciate it when they know the exact things that I do eat and the exact things that I don't eat, and they are knowledgeable about my lifestyle change, and they support me through it, because if I didn't have that support, it'd be so much harder. So I really appreciate that about Grace Ann and the other members of our core four. Like, they don't force me to try some of their ice cream or whatever. They hold me accountable, and they say, like the other day, me and Grace Ann were FaceTiming, and I was eating a sandwich. It was made out of this bread that comes from eggs. She was like, "Are you eating a biscuit?"
Yeah, I literally was like, that was the first question out of my mouth when she started eating. I was like, "Is that a biscuit?" Because I know she doesn't do bread.
And I loved the fact that she is holding me accountable. Like, you don't eat biscuits. Like,
I was like, no.
I just love it when my friends are like that to me, and they're like, "You don't eat that, so stop."
Yeah, I think it was like really hard when you first started, because we would go like hang out and we'd go get ice cream, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Andrea, you have to taste this, it's so good." And I'd be like, "Oh, right, you don't eat that." But like, now that you've been doing it for so long, we're just like, okay, well, we're all going out to dinner. Where's a good place that Andrea can eat? And I feel like that's something that
I love that.
we always, you're welcome. We always like think about that, because like we don't want her to, like we don't want to go to a Mexican restaurant that doesn't let you like substitute, you know, like no rice or no whatever. Like, we always try to be really conscious of the fact that like it's hard for her to eat at fast food, so we always go to like a sit down place, and we always try to like think of somewhere that like you can make your own stuff, or somewhere that it already has an item that is on the approved list for her.
I did want to say that every single restaurant I've been to in this year of healthy eating, I've been able to find at least one thing or modify one thing to be able to eat it in a healthy way, even if that is fast food. So if you're out there saying, "I can't eat healthy because I'm always eating out," that is not a thing.
Yeah.
You can eat healthy while eating out. I do it all the time. So just wanted to get that out there for y'all. One of the hard things about eating healthy is how it seems like everywhere you turn, there's food. It's like when there's a gathering at church, it's a potluck and everyone brings food. Whenever there's a staff meeting, someone's gonna bring donuts, stuff like that, and that's great. I love how food brings people together in community, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like it's hard, like being around all that food and not eating it. Like, one time I went to a bridal shower, and the only thing on the table that I would eat would be the little cheese squares, and it was only the white cheese squares. And then it was just so noticeable that the only thing on my plate was cheese, and everyone else had like croissants and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm kind of crying, I get emotional. But everyone else had like croissants and chips, and people were like, "Andrea, why are you not eating all the other stuff?" And I'm just like, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "I'm just good, I don't want any rest of it." It's just like, it's so noticeable whenever you're in a big, when you're around a lot of people and there is food and you don't eat everything that's out there, and it's just like, it kind of points the attention to you, and I don't really like that. But it's kind of hard whenever, like one time at a staff meeting, we were playing this game where you get the candy out of the saran wrap, which is so fun, but it was a cool thing, but it was not fun for me because I don't eat candy. And I'm sorry if like I'm offending people. That's not what I mean. It's just like, this is how I felt. Like, it didn't feel like a fun competition to me, because everyone was like, "Ooh, I want the candy," but like, I don't eat candy. And I know I put that upon myself. I don't want to eat candy because I don't want to eat candy, but it's just that sometimes it's hard to like not have a pile of candy and everyone's like noticing. And I just feel like so much judgment sometimes when people see that and they're like, "Okay, why?" I hate that. Like, that is the hardest thing about eating healthy, is the judgment from others, which I just hate, because if you love eating healthy, then you should eat healthy, and it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks about you and your decisions, because down to the nitty-gritty of it, it is your decision, it is your body. So don't let anyone tell you these little things like, "Ew, why are you eating rabbit food?" I've gotten that a lot. Like, "Why are you eating rabbit food? Like, just eat this pizza. Like, it's not a big deal, it's just one slice." This is not your body. Don't tell me what I should eat. It's just the judgment from other people is very hard. You need to have those close-knit friends and family so that know what you eat and what you don't eat. because it's kind of exhausting when you're around people who don't know and they're constantly asking you questions, constantly telling you the things that you should eat.
Yeah. I think to touch more on that, like I have always had like an issue with eating normal and eating healthy, and being in heart failure, I don't have an appetite a lot of the time. That's one of the like side effects of heart failure and my chronic illness, because I eat maybe the equivalent of one full meal a day, which to some people is like insanely crazy, but to me, like, it's just been my truth. Like, it's just been what happens, and I always make a point to not force myself to eat because I'll like get sick. And I tried this program because like I wanted to be more conscious of what I was eating and hoping that maybe it would give me more energy and stuff. And I think one of the reasons that I haven't been as successful in my eating, like healthy eating journey, is because I really let what other people think of me like determine what I do. And that's like definitely a fault of mine, and like we're being real today. But like whenever I worked at a marketing firm for a really long time before I started like doing what I do now, and a lot of it revolved around going out to like cookout and going to like dinner parties and stuff like that, and I would go into people's houses all the time, and they would offer me like, hey, can I get you a biscuit, can I get you some soda, like blah blah blah. And it was really hard for me to be like, no thank you, like I don't do that or whatever. And I think that a lot of times when you're trying to make lifestyle changes and you're trying to improve upon yourself, a lot of people give you hate for that. And I think it's something that we need to start normalizing, because if people want to better themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, then they should be allowed to do that, and they should be getting support from others and not hate for that. So to tie it all in, I did want to talk a little bit about support from friends and family and accountability. So a big thing when Andrea told us all that she was starting this journey and she wanted to change her lifestyle and start eating more healthy and more consciously, it was a big deal to all of us, and we wanted to make sure that we were holding her accountable, and specifically me, because I feel like we're together the most, like apart from the core four. And a lot of times if we were hanging out or whatever, we would go to a coffee shop and like we would go get breakfast or whatever. And I really wanted to make sure that I knew everything that she could eat and everything that she couldn't eat, and what she felt comfortable, like what restaurant she felt comfortable going to and where she liked to eat and stuff like that. And even now, like when we start hanging out, a lot of times instead of like going out to dinner, we'll be like, why don't we just make dinner? And we'll all like, we'll go to the grocery store and we'll grab a couple of things, and then we come home, we all cook and we sit down and we eat together. And so we're all like actively choosing to be extra supportive and say like, we know it's difficult, and like we know that, you know, we don't want to make you, like we don't want to limit your choices. If you're feeling like you want something specific, like we're willing to make the sacrifice, I guess, to make you happy, and like to know that you're being satisfied as well. And I think that's a big thing for friends of people who are making those types of lifestyle changes. Like, you want to be really supportive of them, and you want to understand exactly what changes they're making, why they're making them, and how it's going to affect your relationship, because like ultimately you are their accountability partner. So I think that's a really big thing for people to watch out for and to be conscious of. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys watching our videos. We love making them for you. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video that you hit the like button down below, that you hit the subscribe button, which is right beside of the like button, and then hit that little bell beside of the subscription button, because it'll give you notifications every single time we post, so you never miss an episode.
Please leave a comment on this video if you've ever gone through the journey of eating healthy and succeeded, or maybe you haven't succeeded, or if you have a friend who eats healthy. We would love to know your stories, and if they align with mine, or if they don't, we would just love to be in conversation about this all. It's very interesting to talk about.
Oh, for sure. Stay tuned. Next week we are going to be premiering our third ever vlog. which will be our back to school vlog. So it'll be Andrea moving back to school, and then it'll be me talking about what I'm up to next. So we're very excited to kind of vlog that experience.
Bye, friends. Hey, friends.
That was not insane.
That was bad.
I just love how it makes me